Today's episode of the Just Keep Swimming podcast is brought to you by Audible. Audible is an online audiobook and podcast service offering over 10,000 books and the ability to listen to your favorite podcasts, including the Just Keep Swimming podcast. I personally use Audible all the time and suggest you take a listen to Intentional Living by John C. Maxwell. In this book, Mr. Maxwell shares his story on how he was able to live a noble and purposeful life and gives you tips and tricks so you can do the same. So please start your 30-day free trial now at www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast, all lowercase. Again, that is www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast. And if you have any more questions or concerns for the Just Keep Swimming podcast, you're always welcome to reach out to us on Facebook or at Instagram at Just Keep Swimming _podcast, or you can email us at jkspodcast702@gmail.com. And with that out the way, let's dive into it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. This is your friend, your boy, your host, Mr. Adrian Jackson, back with another great episode for you. And you already know who's with me. It's the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. 1-3, dropping hot beats for the city. But let's go ahead and dive right into this, ladies and gentlemen. And this episode actually came from a listening or an audio book by Mr. Earl Nightingale that I was listening to. And, he started off the story talking about, he woke up one morning, did his morning routine, grabbed his coffee, sat down, opened the newspaper. And when he opened the newspaper, the first article said, "This is everything you need to know about the election." And then he was like, I pretty much spit out my coffee because there is no way everything that I need to know about the election is going to be all right here in this one little paragraph. And I kind of find that funny, definitely with today's times with, TikTok, YouTube, Google, Facebook. You get news from all different places, and it's always like, definitely if you watch YouTube like I do for information, it's always like the person makes it seem like this is all you need to know. This is all the information you have right here. This is everything you need to know about this incident. And it's like, no, there is no way everything I need to know is inside this little thing. And if it is everything I know, it's only everything that I need to know from your perspective, but there's always so many more perspectives. So there's no way there's everything I need to know. So I kind of think that's just kind of funny because a lot of times we just, thinking about this, it kind of reminds me of like females with cars. A lot of females, they get cars and they just drive, but they don't even know that they have to get an oil change. They don't know that they have to, check the tire pressure and, how not to hit a curve or whatever the case may be. And it's like, they assume that, everything I need to know about this car is put my key in, hit the gas, go forward, and hit the brakes to stop, and hook up my phone so I can listen to my music. That's all I need to know. But it's like, no, that's not what you need to know. There's a lot more that you need to know about a car: the engine type, the gas that you put in, the air pressure, the type of tires, the manufacturer, the who made the materials, the type of materials are in the car. There's so much information that you probably could know. But then that leads me to my next part too. Is the information relevant for you to know? Like, do you even care to know it? And, that kind of brings me to the Super Bowl today. It's the biggest event in the world today. And, everybody celebrates, has parties and all this stuff to celebrate a game between two teams. And, I'm kind of sitting here like, I don't care for the Super Bowl. I haven't watched it. I didn't watch anything of it. I know who's playing, but besides that, it's like, is this information relevant to me? Is this information how's this information going to help my life and help me evolve and get to where I need to be? Or is it just going to make me feel like I'm a part of the human society and, I fit in because I watched the Super Bowl and I saw that play that everybody saw and couldn't believe it. And it's like, that's not relevant to me. That's not relevant to me at all. So it's like, why waste my time trying to gather information that's not relevant to me, you know? So, you know, with those two things being said, I kind of think that we all need to really just focus on what we're actually taking in and we're actually listening to and what is actually relevant to us, you know? Yes, it's probably good to know that there is a Super Bowl today and maybe the teams that are playing and maybe afterwards who won, because when you go to work, that's what everybody's going to talk about. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't really tickle your fancy, as they say, then why waste your time really worrying about what really happened or what's going on, you know? And on top of that, if there's things that are interest you, things that, you know, really do tickle your fancy and is really make you think, you should look more into that, you know, with multiple sources. Don't just go and just watch one person talk about this, because that's only their point of view. There's so many different points of view, so many different stories, so much information out in the world, you know. Like, let's go back about cars. Like you said, the female might only care about, I know this is giving me point A to point B, but the car enthusiast, you know, somebody who is in love with cars, yes, they want to know the tire, the brand, the maker, the model, shoot, the month that it was made, because the month that it was made could mean that the engine has this spec or this spec, you know, all the little things, and they go deep into it because that's what tickles their fancy. That is what fascinates them. That's what makes them come alive, you know. For me, it's the power of the mind. I love to hear about mind power and how people can learn how to change their whole lives by changing their thoughts and changing their actions, and how there's the little things in life can really just change you. And that's like what really gets me, you know. I like science. So science, I would love about science. I would love to watch stuff about rockets and, you know, all this new material and all these new drones and stuff. That right there is what intrigues me, and that's what I will start to look into and research. But when it comes to other things, I don't care to waste my time. And that was something amazing that I read in the Daily Stoic. They say that, you know, never be afraid to say, I don't know, or I don't care, you know, because that is one thing that a lot of people are afraid to say, because they feel like it'll make you feel left out, make you feel not a part of the group, make people look at you weird. Like, you don't know who won the Super Bowl? And you'd be like, no, I don't know. And at the end of the day, I don't care. You know, I don't care, because it has nothing to do with me. Whoever wins is not going to change my life. Tomorrow, I still got to go to work, and I still got to figure out how to make money to pay my bills. Whoever wins Super Bowl is not going to affect me at all. You know, it's not my team. I don't own no team. Why am I repping a team that's not me? You know, but that's just me on the inside. But yeah. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys today, though. You know, let's start to really look and pay attention to what information is relevant to us and what do we really need to focus on, because there's so much information in the world. But it's like, is this information valuable, or is it a distraction for you? You know, and that's the main thing that a lot of us need to focus on, and we really need to start to organize our information that we're gathering based off that information. You know, is it valuable to me, or is it a distraction? You know, yes, maybe the distraction is good. Like you said, maybe I do want to just relax and sit back and watch some football, but at the same time, how valuable is this to me? You know, if the value is relaxation, then okay, you found value in it. But if you can't find the value in it, then don't waste your time with it and move on and go find what you do find value in. Go listen to what you do go watch what you do find value in. But that's my main thing. It's just, let's just find what we value and let's dive into that. Let's not waste our time dive into other stuff that we don't value just so we can fit in and keep up with the Joneses. You feel me? Excuse me. But yes, so with that being said, I hope you guys had an amazing day. If you did watch the Super Bowl, hope you enjoyed it to the fullest, not knocking anything at all. You know, what's for you is for you, what's for me is for me. We're different people, and I truly understand that, and I respect that, you know. But, you know, my main thing is just, is it valuable to you? Is it worth it to you? And two, if it is worth it to you, don't just stop at one source and say, oh, this is all I need to know. Research, dig, dive. Look what you need to look. You got scholarly articles out there that a lot of people don't know about. Just Google Scholar is an amazing site that gives you real information, real insight. There's so much ways to get information out there, and let's just find what information is pertaining to you, and then let's keep digging into that information. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys had a wonderful day, a marvelous afternoon, a splendid evening, and remember to just keep swimming.